Hey everybody, it's Rich. Thought I'd post a video on using the ACARS in the simulator. I know some of you have not given it a shot yet, so I thought if I posted a video, you get a look at how it works, you might give it a try. So let's say you walk in the simulator, you deleted all your snapshots from the previous crew that might have been left over. Now you're going to pick your module. In this case, we're going to use 402 leg 1. So select that, position the sim at the gate, and close that out. Now we're going to wipe out any old ACARS messages. So go to Communications. Now the two main buttons you're going to be using are ACARS Log and ACARS Uplink. So select ACARS Log. That'll pull up any old ACARS messages. You can hit Clear All at the bottom, and that'll wipe out any old ACARS messages that you have. Alright, for the ACARS to initialize properly, you're going to have to make sure that there's at least one door open. So just take a look at your doors page, make sure you got a door open. As long as there's one open, it'll initialize properly. Go back to Communications. This time choose ACARS Uplink. You have to have a group and a scenario selected. So in this case, 402 leg 1, and then just pick one scenario. So I'll just pick departure messages. Click on that and close it out. Once that's done, just take a look, make sure you have two buttons highlighted green, both a group and a scenario, and it should initialize properly. Okay, back at the ACARS screen, select ACARS, go to the main menu if it doesn't automatically go there, and then select Init. The crew hits Init Request, and that sends a request to the instructor station. You'll see that pop up there, and it's an automatic reply. Back at the ACARS screen, it'll automatically populate the flight number, release date, departure station, and destination station. Alright, so the crew would then pick estimated time en route, fill that number in, goes to the next blank line, so fuel on departure, enter that. Then you go to the next page, and it has a couple of blocks for landing captain and landing first officer. On the line they put their employee number, but for the sim we'll just put 1 and 2. Next thing is the release number. They pull that off the flight plan. So release 1, enter that, and then hit send. Back at the instructor station, you'll see a request for release OK and an automated reply, release OK. The crew will select the message and see release numbers OK, so they know they have the proper release. Alright, the next thing the crew will likely do is send for ATIS. So it automatically fills in your departure station, Atlanta departure. They'll send that. And then they reselect ATIS, select airport, and type in their arrival station, in this case Memphis. Now they're going to have to change it from departure ATIS, which is where it automatically defaults to on the ground. Select it once, it goes to en route info service. Select it a second time, it goes to arrival ATIS. And then they can go ahead and hit send. At the instructor station, go ahead and select departure ATIS. And there's Atlanta departure ATIS Delta. And just hit the send button for that. Since they're asking for arrival station, hit arrival ATIS. You can see Memphis, arrival information Lima, and go ahead and send that. Back at the ACARS screen, you'll see the messages came up. There's your Atlanta departure, information Delta. And the message that's still blinking is your arrival ATIS. The crew can just read it off the screen, or they can hit the print button to print it out from the ACARS printer. To send for a PDC, the crew will select ATC requests, PDC request, verify you have the correct destination station, and then send. At the instructor station, you'll see the PDC request, select departure messages, find the PDC, and send it. Back at the ACARS screen, you'll see the message flashing. You can select it and then hit print. It'll print off the ACARS printer and just tear it off. Okay, when the time comes, you're going to want to send your D-8 message. So select Departure Messages, find D-8, and send it. Followed shortly by finding the EFSR, and send that as well. Over at the ACARS screen, you'll see the flashing message. Go ahead and select it. You'll see your D-8 message, and followed shortly by the EFSR. And the crew can select that, print it out if they'd like. Okay, when it comes time to send your WDR, go under Departure Messages. You'll see that there are two WDRs in this case, because after they call for taxi, you turn the airport around. So find the first one, Atlanta WDR Update, and send it. At the ACARS screen, you'll see the flashing message. They can select that, and then hit print. After they call for taxi, you'll let them know that the airport is turned around. They'll have to send for a new WDR. So to do that, they go to Delta Requests, DAL Requests, select that, and you'll see an option for takeoff. So select takeoff, and then all they have to do is enter the runway. In this case, it's going to be runway 8 right. Enter it, and then they press the send button. Over at the instructor station, go back to your departure messages, and you'll have to find the second WDR. Scroll to the bottom, there it is, Atlanta WDR Update 2. You can send that, and then the crew can print that out as well. Okay, en route, your go-to places are arrival messages and arrival ATIS. So we'll say the crew sent for the arrival ATIS for Memphis. If you look underneath arrival messages, there are things like LPR, gate message. Under arrival ATIS, you'll see Memphis Information Lima. So you can select that and send it. Over at the ACARS screen, they can pull that up, print it out if they'd like, or they can just read it directly from the screen there. Next thing they're going to do is send an in-range report, so select Flight Progress, in range. They can enter in the current EON from the progress page. We'll say in this case is 2010. And on the next page, there are places for wheelchairs, aisle chairs, and unaccompanied minors. Once they fill that in, just hit send. At the instructor station, select arrival messages. You'll see Gate Memphis. Send that to them. Over at the ACARS screen, they'll see the message. They can pull it up and see they're coming into gate B15. So now they go to the main menu, and let's say they want to send for an LPR because of the weather in Memphis. So they'll go to DAL Requests, find Landing, and then go ahead and enter the runway. In this case, it's 18 right. There's some options they can choose to fill in there, or they could just leave them blank, like flaps, auto brakes, landing weight. Go to the next page. They can also select runway conditions or just send it. At the instructor station, you'll see the landing performance request. Go to arrival messages. You can see landing LPR. Send that to them. And back over at the ACARS screen, they'll see the blinking message. They can pull that up. And there's their LPR. And they could just print that out for review. Okay, let's say they want to send their dispatcher a free text. So go to Flight Progress. Upper left is free text. They can select that. See different options for addresses. A is flight control. So select the box at the upper left. Type in A and enter that. And then you'll see an empty box come up. Just select Edit Text. And then you could just type in whatever you want. Hit Enter. And then send it. At the instructor station, you'll see a free text come up. This is a little different. You're going to go to ACARS log. You'll see the free text up at the top. Go over to the right and hit description. When you hit that, you'll be able to see what they typed in and sent to you. All right, let's say you want to respond to their free text. So what you do is go back to ACARS uplink at the bottom right, select free text. You'll see there's an empty box there with a circle in the upper left-hand corner. Select that. Just type in whatever you want. And you can go ahead and enter it. And at the right there's a send button. All right, let's talk about LOEs for a second. You'll see at the bottom on the left, your choices are by city pair. So Seattle to Portland or JFK to Philly. We'll select Seattle to Portland. Underneath departure messages, you'll see all the various messages you might need during an LOE. Just keep in mind you might need to know whether you had an alternate or not, whether it's state the gate for the D-8, things like that. For departure ATIS, you'll see those are broken down by LOE number. So as long as you remember your LOE number, you'll know which ATIS to send them. For arrival messages, there are options there for maintenance agreeing to continue to Portland or divert back to Seattle. There's also gate message for Portland. And finally, arrival ATIS, that's broken down by LOE number as well as whether you had an alternate or not. So just keep that in mind, your number, and whether you had an alternate, you'll know which arrival ATIS to send. If you have any questions, send me a text, send me an email, or just stop me in the hallway. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Thanks for watching.